So this doing a video every week is working out really well for me. I told myself, do it, Sam, do it. You'll be able to prove to yourself that you can commit to something for longer than, a week. You can prove to everyone that you... No. Alright, so I'm gonna do movie week, even though that was probably about 2 weeks ago. I don't really care anymore. I mentioned last video that I'm a huge fan of Disney movies, so my top 3 movies obviously are gonna include a Disney movie. My top 2 movies, I'm not... This is working really well. This is going really, really well. My 2 favourite movies are V for Vendetta and Tangled. My least favourite movie is probably 2012. My main issue with 2012 is it was just... It struck me as kind of pointless, really. It's just... people get on a ship and lots of people die that don't really need to die. And aside from the fact that a ton of people die pointlessly in something that's not going to happen, number one, there was this big issue in the media where they put up a website where more or less they said, 2012 is going to happen, what are you going to do? And they've hyped up the whole 2012 means the world is ending. Ah! My second issue is that it's just the whole plot is completely implausible. I don't like using the word impossible, as you can probably tell. And my third main issue is it was just plain pointless. There was nothing really that made this movie any special. I like the CGI, I really did. It was brilliant. I'm very rarely impressed with the CGI in a film as much as I was impressed with 2012's. But, as we have seen from Avatar: The Last Airbender, trying to fill plot holes with animation just doesn't work. It never works. Avatar: The Last Airbender is also probably in the running for one of my least favourite films of all time, just because it was completely different to the series. It had no humour. One of the things, you can probably take note of this with a lot of Portal fan-made videos, is that once you lose the humour, you lose part of what made the series, or made the game, or made the movie so great. And when they took out the humour from Avatar, it wasn't Avatar anymore. The whole Avatar: Last Airbender movie was pretty much the Ember Island players redone with actual people. I've actually said all of this on my live channel, but I think it's a really good point that I'd like to make. I do actually like Disney movies, despite the fact that I'm about to spend the next maybe minute and a half picking the out of them. I'm actually fairly indifferent to romance. I don't care a lot about it, and if it's in an action movie, I will probably barf. The only time that I will put up with romance is if I'm reading a romantic story or I'm watching a Disney movie, because let's face it, you don't watch a Disney movie for the plot. But one of the things about Disney movie romance is that it doesn't really creep in. It's sort of just like bam, and it's there. And you're sort of looking at the two main characters going, when did that happen? You hated each other a couple minutes ago. Did I miss something here? Was there a scene skip that I missed? The love side plot sort of pops up out of nowhere because they have 2 hours to do the movie and they have to set the girl up with her prince in less than 2 hours. It was especially bad with The Princess and the Frog. I really didn't like that movie. Just suddenly proposing out of nowhere. It just felt weird. And I don't sort of like the, boom, happily ever after, married and probably gonna have kids sometime soon. It's a pet peeve of mine, especially when it's in an action movie. You can't just pop in a kiss. I really, really, really need a haircut. I start raging at the writers. The only reason you put that in there is because you couldn't think of a proper way to end the movie, isn't it? And they didn't even like each other before. Why would you do that? Why? And it sort of gets to the stage where it's so improbable that it completely ruins the movie for me. Any movie writers, if you're watching this, please, please, if there is no build up to the romance and there is no need for the romance in the movie, do not put it in. It is unnecessary. No one cares about it. They want another explosion. That's why they came to the action movie in the first place. Let's move on, shall we? Okay. Tangled. One of the reasons that I like Tangled better than I like any other Disney films is that one of my main problems with Disney films is the fact that the girls don't do anything. They are really horribly, horribly stupid. You know, with Sleeping Beauty, don't talk to strangers, and she goes to talk to a stranger that she met in her dreams before. And the second problem with them is that they don't do anything. One of the things I like about Tangled is that Rapunzel, although she spent her entire life in a tower, she is independent. She does have a strong personality, and she's not just about to be steamrolled by this guy simply because she doesn't know how to cope with the world. Despite the fact that he is a boy, she doesn't just swoon at the first sight of him. And that's pretty much all I really want to say on the matter of girls in Disney movies. You can probably tell that I didn't script this video. I scripted my other one, but since I didn't script this one, it's ended up a lot longer than I thought it would. So I'm going to cut things abruptly short so that you don't have to endure another 2.5 minutes of me talking about the things that I liked about V for Vendetta. Just take my word for it that it's a good movie. I really need an outro for this thing because it's just going to be me saying awkward ending every time. Bye!